So not every nation state is probably completely convinced that Bitcoin is the best solution and the best way forward. So some people worry that someone has the idea to stop Bitcoin. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, and indeed we have seen quite a lot of attempts to actually hinder the adoption of Bitcoin along the adoption curve that we've seen during the last 15 years. And it's fair to say that all these attempts certainly had some local impacts, but the global adoption was not prevented by that. It's a bit like we've seen in the internet adoption back then, right? We always had some local issues with adoption, but in the end, what we have seen, the vast majority of the humanity is using the internet today, and it will be, from an adoption perspective, very similar to Bitcoin.
If nobody's stopping it, why is it not possible?
It is tried to be stopped from an adoption perspective. Local jurisdictions that try to prevent it by preventive tax rulings. What we have also seen in the past were some attempts to actually forbid Bitcoin or to legally prevent people to own Bitcoin on a legal basis. But you can't forbid it and you can't prevent it technically, because it's simply just you remember 12 or 24 words and that's it. So you technically can't prevent it. And this is also the core reason why there's a narrative that you can't censor this network, that you can't prevent people in owning it. Legally, you can forbid that. And obviously, you can also find some tax rulings that we've seen. For instance, in Italy recently introduced a capital gains tax on Bitcoin of 42%, which is, I would say, quite decent, right? But you can't prevent it in the worldwide aspect.
So you just can make it illegal as a nation state to own it, right?
Yeah, like gold was a couple of decades ago. Gold was forbidden to be owned by US American citizens, right?
And make it less attractive, as you said, for Italy. Yeah. And do you think it makes sense, or how do you see that playing out?
So you can choose to close yourself out of the Bitcoin, yourself as a nation or yourself as a person, to close yourself out of the Bitcoin adoption. But it is similar like saying, okay, why should I use the internet? Okay, you can close yourself out of the internet. You can close out nation states out of the internet. We have seen that all the time along the recent internet's history. But see what turned out to be the case when you close yourself out of the internet. Same with Bitcoin. You lacking behind in the end.
Do you think you will see more measures like in Italy, or you think something else?
Very likely that we've seen preventive, especially tax authorities introducing preventive measurements like additional capital gains tax in Europe. This is, in my opinion, quite likely that we've seen that in the mid-term future for several reasons. But there will be further attempts. So don't get me wrong, I'm not naive. Obviously, Bitcoin is competing with the central authorities when it comes to the creation of money. Because the core idea behind Bitcoin is that no one rules the issuance of money. There's only one predetermined algorithm which is fixed for basically the next 100 years, even more. And then that it is the case, right? Since this is preventing the inflation of money, which is certain people are benefiting of that, it will be by these people. They will try to prevent that. I'm pretty sure they will on several levels. Taxation, they will do that on a jurisdiction basis, so legally. Probably other attempts like on a media level as well. There's when you check out the established quality press or mainstream media, if you want to say so, it is quite a bunch of interesting press coverage of Bitcoin, right? So I certainly see the headwinds for Bitcoin on a lot of different areas and levels.